Hello, everyone. My name is Aaron Smith, and I'm the UK's Dyslexia and SEND consultant for Microsoft. My role is all about delivering accessibility into education. Of course, I haven't got my captions on. Let's put that on now. Allow that. There we go. So now my captions on. So hello everyone. As I said, my name is Aaron Smith. I'm the UK's Dyslexia and SEND consultant. Has to be accessible. There is a large number of you in this afternoon's webinar talking all about dyslexia and reading. It runs off on the series that we're doing. It started yesterday. We've got reading today, and then on Thursday we've got writing, and on Friday we've got reading progress, which is really quite cool to look at. And of course, on Wednesday we have the other session we're running, which is our lunch with Aaron. So at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Do check that out if you want to get involved in that. Now, as we need to be accessible, as I'm going to be doing some demoing today, I do want to run PowerPoint live. So in a second, a QR code will appear. This is not for those that are listening to the record. It's only for those watching it live. If you're watching the live, if you want to get captions live to your device, please scan the QR code that's going to appear in a second. I'm just going to stop the presentation. And I'm going to bring PowerPoint Live up. So if you want to scan the QR code, please, when it appears, which will be now. If you scan that QR code, then you'll get access to the live captions. Use your phone, open up your phone, use the camera app, and it will work where you can scan it just like that. That's brilliant. So I've done mine as well. So we've got 5. We'll wait for a few more people. That's it, 6. And hopefully you'll see that. Get it. A few more seconds. I'll just drop this into the chat. So if anyone wants to copy the link, they can do. That's brilliant. We'll wait, see if it gets to 10. That's it. I'm going to move on now. So we've only got 30 minutes. And we're going to move on. So welcome everyone to this session. As I said, my name is Aaron Smith, and I am the UK's Dyslexia and SEND consultant of Microsoft. And my role is all about delivering accessibility into education. Of course, out of today's one, we're on Tuesday, the 5th of October. In Dyslexia Week, we're going to be looking at reading in dyslexia, Microsoft Reading Dyslexia. Or Microsoft Dyslexia Reading, that's what it's called. So really looking forward to talk to you about this. Now, yesterday we talked a bit about where Microsoft came from with the Microsoft mission, and we talked about a few other things. We talked about the hackathon. We talked about where Microsoft had this idea about dyslexia and this concept of dyslexia, and it started with the concept of visual crowding. It looked at text to speech. It looked at background colors, and that's where learning tools came from. So learning tools is the title we use for all these features, and the features are things like immersive reader, dictation, captions. Learning tools is this whole suite of tools and features that we use, and immersive reader is what I'm going to show you today. Now, of course, going back when we hacked it into OneNote, it was only in one place, and now we see it in many places. And immersive reader is a really cool tool. And this is a tool that has things like text to speech in it. It has synchronized highlighting. It has the ability to change your fonts and change your line spacing. It has grammar options. It has real-time translation, picture dictionary. It reads maths out loud. And of course, it has dictation. Now, dictation we're not going to talk about today because we're going to look at that on Thursday when we talk about writing. But we're going to talk today about how immersive reader works. Now, I'm just going to stop sharing for a second, because I realized I didn't turn my sound on. And what's going to happen as well is on my screen, you will find that you'll see in a second a web page will come into my screen, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, just to let you know, as I said to you, I'm going to demo. So if you do need captions, use the link across the screen. It's in the chat box, but there will be no captions on the screen. So I'm bringing over here Microsoft 365 now, because these webinars are designed for education. We're using Office.com. Office.com is a free resource for any education establishment here in the UK. So if you're working in any education school, you'll either be using another provider, not either Google or your own private provider, or you'll be using Microsoft. By going to office.com and putting in your email address, your school email address, and your password, you can do it. And of course, it's free both for students and for teachers. So that's a really powerful tool to look at. It's a really powerful, useful thing to know that it is available for both. Now, all of these things here on the side are all the apps you can use from things like Sway, Teams, OneNote, OneDrive, Outlook. They all have accessibility in, but today we're going to look at Word. We're going to look at Word Online, and I'm going to open my Word document up that has been shared to me because we're looking at reading. Now, we have got this piece of text in front of me. This could have been shared to me by my geography teacher. It could have been sent to me by my English teacher even. Or it could have just been sent to me by my one-to-one. And basically, as a dyslexic, I may have been told in my instructions I need to read the passage and then I need to answer some questions on it. And I'm going to go, okay, how do I read that? For those who listened to me yesterday or have watched my previous video, you know that I am severely dyslexic myself and I have difficulty reading. Now, of course, I can download a product, I could install a product, I could use a free screen reader, I could even use products built into Windows 10 and Windows 11 to do this. But actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the feature which is built into Word Online and many products, and this is called Immersive Reader. And it's always in the View tab. It's always in the View tab, looking and for seeing. That's the View tab concept. View is for looking and for seeing, and that's what we need to do. Because actually what we need to do is we need to take ourselves out of that editing view of Word into our immersive view. So this is our view for me as that student or as that teacher that needs that support. Because I can manipulate this text on how I want to use it. So I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to go into the A on the right hand side there, which is my text preferences. And I can change the size, make it bigger or smaller. I'm going to put it around 42. I can turn that spacing on and off, which again is really powerful for some of our learners. I've got different fonts. I'm going to use Comic Sans. It's a nice dyslexia friendly font in my opinion. It has proper A's and proper G's. I have different background colors I can use. Of course, we do have debate about background colors in the UK, but this is Erling colors. These are from Microsoft. Microsoft have taken Erling colors, and it helps some people. Of course, we've got then this concept of show formatting, because bold, italic, and underline can also be difficult for some people to read or not read. So we can turn that on and off at the bottom under our text preferences. So now what we've done is we've used the A and manipulated it for our text. What about our grammar options? Well, we can syllabarize all the text. So again, helping with breaking down words. That is really useful for some people. I can pick up my nouns, my verbs, my adjectives, my adverbs. And I can also go, you know what, actually, I've got a purple background. Let's change that to blue because that's a bit easier to read now. So I can change it to the right kind of colors to support with whatever phonics work we're doing. Look at that, study of earth landforms. It really picks them all out in different colors. But actually, that could be difficult to read because you could be colorblind, so we can actually put labels on as well. So it can help a number of people. So if I just want to turn them off and just pick out, let's just pick out my verbs. There's all my verbs in the document and I can see them there, which really helps me. It's a really useful tool and of course it's all free. Our last option here in Immersive Reader on this side is our reading preferences. And this does things like line focus, removing them distractions, allowing us to move up and down the text either in a single line or a bigger or a 3-line paragraph and even a 5-line paragraph, depending on how many lines and how big our text is. We have this amazing thing turned on here called Picture Dictionary. So if I click on the word study, I have pictures appearing. Click on the word chord, I have pictures appearing. Think about communication difficulties. This is a really cool tool. And again, it's freely available. It's using Board Maker is the company that we use. And it comes in, there's geography, mountains, rivers, valleys, that's one. Sometimes it has one as well. I really like chord because it has 4 pictures. And that's kind of the main areas of what we have this navigation here in the top right hand corner. But of course we have this button at the bottom, which is our play button. Now just listen to this text.
The study of Earth's landforms is called physical geography. Landforms can be mountains and valleys. They can also be glacier or rivers. Landforms are sometimes called physical features. It is important for students to know about the
Now I'm going to stop it there. We've heard that there. Now that voice is probably quite naturally spoken. That voice is actually a naturally speaking voice which Microsoft has designed. It's a different way that we synthesize the voice. We can make it faster. So let's listen to it at really fast speed.
The study of Earth's landforms is called physical geography. Landforms can be mountains and valleys. They can also be glacier or rivers.
which is quite fast. And then I can always slow it right down as well. So slow it right down to here.
The study of Earth's landforms is called
And that's a bit more computerized. I would probably have it personally around there.
physical geography. Landforms can be
And that's really useful for some learners. Of course, we have a female voice as well.
The study of Earth's landforms is called physical geography. Landforms can be mountains and valleys. They can also be glacier or rivers.
And that is really useful for our learners. We can really break that down into text. Now, one of the other things we can do as well is do translation, as I said. Now, if you can find the little chat icon on Teams, just put a language in there that you have in your school so I can try and find it. I'm going to try and find a language that I know I have a lot of people in Leicester we have that are Polish, and I can turn the whole document into Polish, which is really useful. So if you want to put your own language in, and let's see if we can find it, that's good. I've got a few people putting languages in, which is really powerful. So, and we'll go through them.
Badanie form terenu Ziemi
So what I've just done there is I've just turned to Polish,
nazywa się
and it's got
geografią
text to
fizyczną.
speech,
Formy terenu mogą
which is really powerful. So let me have a look at this list here. So we've got Spanish. It definitely does Spanish. Spanish is there. And what you have here is, let's find SP, SP, PP. We also have Spanish Latin America, Spanish Mexico, Spanish Spain. And that's really useful. French and Spanish is there as well. I'm going to use this other one, that other one there, because I don't know if we have that one. I don't think we do, but that's always good to know. So there is a language there that we've got in the list, Tigri. I haven't got that one. We do have Welsh, and Welsh is an interesting language for me. So Welsh is there, it turns the whole of it into Welsh. But what is also new, as of the 4th of May in 2021,
gelwir yr astudiaeth o dirffurfiau'r ddaear yn ddaearyddiaeth ffisegol. Gall tirffurfiau fod yn fynyddoedd a dyffrynoedd. Gallant hefyd fod yn rewlifoedd.
and that is really useful. So actually Welsh will now read out loud as well. So that's really powerful. Just saw another message about that other language. I thought it might be this one. So let's try this one. Hold on. Now this is going to be a language that does not read out loud. Not many of them don't. We've got about 75 languages, probably about 65 of them I would give on estimation will read out loud. So that language that that person has asked for, which I can't, unfortunately, I can't read it, is that language there. Doesn't read out loud. But one of the languages that I do like to show people is Arabic. And people say, why do you show Arabic? Well, one, it's changed the position of the text. Just watch the synchronization of the highlighting.
وتسمى دراسة أشكال الأرض الجغرافيا الفيزيائية. يمكن أن تكون أشكال الأراضي الجبال والوديان. كما يمكن أن تكون
So that synchronization has changed from going from left to right to right to left, which again is really powerful for some of our learners. And actually that synchronization is really important because having synchronization can really help our learners because we're doing that kind of concept with our finger that we would do in early primary where we are probably actually using it. So this is a really useful tool to look at for supporting learners. Now there's one other cool thing that I really like about this, and that is if I go down and find English and I find English Australian, and put the whole document into English Australian, you go, well, that's just English, Aaron. I went, yeah, but listen to the text.
The study of Earth's landforms is called physical geography. Landforms can be mountains and valleys.
That's got an Australian accent, again, helping not just our dyslexic learners. What about helping our learners with ASD or other difficulties? Again, let's just put this in the female voice.
The study of
Oh,
Earth's
sorry, male
landforms
voice.
is called physical geography. Landforms can be mountains and valleys.
That's really quite cool, isn't it, that we've got these languages we can use. It's a really amazing tool there where we've got these features built into Microsoft that are really supportive. Now, going on from this, I'm just going to go back to my presentation a second because one of you may have seen, and we've done the demo there. Actually, let's go back to that one. That's what we want to go back to. You may have seen this logo before. This is the Edge browser. And this is available in Windows 10 and as of today, Windows 11, because Windows 11 was launched today. We have here the Edge browser is what I'm using. Now, I can go to any website. So I have no idea. I know this is probably about Diana and Kate. I can tell that from the picture. But actually, I may want to look at any kind of page. It's not actually. Let's just try another one. Let's do this one here. So I've got a web page here. I don't know what it's about. I think it's about Ukraine. I can't really read it very well as a dyslexic. I'm on a web page and there's loads of distractions here of all these things I want to do. So let's just press the right mouse button here, and I have this button here that says read out loud.
Jacob Paul 7 hours ago. Like 93. Jacob Paul 7. Ukraine energy boss hands UK easy solution out of EU gas crisis.
Now you can see that there. That was really fast, wasn't it? That's because this is set for me and I have it reading that fast. Let's put it as a normal speed so you can hear it.
Can start tomorrow.
So that's a really useful thing there. So let's now go on to this and press the right mouse button here. Continue reading.
Tomorrow. Jacob Paul 7 hours ago.
I highlight this and press the right.
Netherlands.
Let's go from here.
The Russian president is said to have restricted the flow of gas transiting into Europe, as he is hoping to avoid EU law from being implemented on the controversial Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Europe is now facing a crisis, as less gas.
You can see there that actually I can listen to it. It does synchronization. I can change the speed by, and I can also change the name of the voice as well on here. But there's still all these distractions. It keeps moving around. It doesn't look like I was doing it. What I have got here up in the address bar is the immersive reader icon. By pressing this, it takes me out of my editing view and puts me into my immersive view. So what I can do here is I can change the font. I can put the column sizes, can I make it bigger or smaller, which is brand new. Column sizes wasn't there last time I did it. So that's a brand new tool there. I can change the spacing, put spacing on and off. I've got different background colors I can choose, which we could choose in Immersive Reader before. I've got the size of the font. I can do spacing. I've done that one. I can also do grammar. I can do syllable division on a web page. I can pick up my nouns, my verbs, my adjectives on a web page, which I think is so cool. On top of that, I've got Picture Dictionary turned on. Let's go on this. Start. There you go. Energy. Out. Words that are now on a web page that I'm using Picture Dictionary that are all free just by using Microsoft Edge. The latest version of Microsoft Edge has these features built in. They're all free. And again, I can use the read aloud, which is built into there.
Ukraine energy boss
And
hands.
again, using that synchronization is really powerful. And that is reading. Reading is such a powerful tool, it is, and it's so many places where it is. And let's just go back to the presentation. It's in things like Office Lens. Office Lens is an app in your phone that's free. When it takes a picture, it sends it to Immersive Reader, and it reads out what you're saying. It's really powerful. It's in Microsoft Teams, in channels, in chat, and in conversation by pressing the three little dots. It's in Microsoft. It's in Flipgrid, which is made by Microsoft. It's a tool. Sorry, it's owned by Microsoft. That's what I meant. It's owned by Microsoft. It's in Flipgrid and it's there. It's in their comments. It's really powerful. It's in Minecraft Education. Minecraft Education, you need to have a license for that to work, but Immersive Reader is freely available inside it. No extra costs for that at all. It's in Microsoft Forms. It's in Immersive. It's in Teams Assignment. It's in Microsoft Whiteboard if you're using touch devices. It's in CodeMaker. It's in SharePoint and OneDrive. It's in PowerPoint in the web. It's coming to Excel, and it's just in so many places. Now, this is my last slide of the day before I jump to my final slide for you to ask some questions. This slide here just shows that reading aloud alone, and this is an older slide. There is a new slide coming out later this week with all the new features on there. Over Dyslexia Awareness Month, you'll see lots more that I'll be sharing on Twitter and so forth. But reading out loud, 5 versions of OneNote. They are all different versions of OneNote available in all of them. It's in 4 versions of Word, including your iPad and your Mac. 2 versions of Outlook, Teams, Flipgrid, Whiteboard, Forms, Minecraft Education, Office Lens, and the Edge browser. That is so many places. On top of that, it's in PowerPoint in the web. It's in SharePoint in the web. It is. It's in it's just in loads of places that's available. It's powerful, supportive, and I'm trying to stop being distracted because that's what happens whenever you are dyslexic like I am, in trying to stop my phone from ringing because it shouldn't be ringing, it shouldn't even be on. But hey ho, you can see there that like spacing is in so many different places. Color backgrounds, syllables, line focus, parts of speech, which is basically your nouns, adjectives, and adverbs. You've got picture translation, and we'll talk about dictation, but then on the last one there, maths and equations work, because it will read out maths equations as well. It's really powerful for our learners. It's really supportive. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump right to my last slide. I am for you to do something. So you can basically ask me some questions. If you want to take a picture of that QR code will give you my full presentation. So if you want the PDF and any of the other documentation, you're going to, of course, click on that now. But that is me talking about reading. Reading is in so many places. I want to show you one more place where you can get reading is, and that is if you press the Windows key on your keyboard and the plus icon. That will bring up an app called Magnifier. So this is Magnifier here. Magnifier is such a cool tool because I can press this button here and I can click here.
Slide 79 title, any questions? Slide 79 content, email us on aaron@lva-group.co.uk.
Hopefully you heard that because I'm 90% sure I've got audio on there. But just by using Magnifier, I actually have a screen reader built into Magnifier. Yes, I can zoom in, but I have this screen reader built in. So if I find a word that I can't read or I have a PDF that I need to read, so I've got a PDF on here. So this is a PDF here. I can, of course, press that button, click here.
Microsoft Forward.
And it's got a bit of synchronization. Of course, PDFs will read on Edge as well. There's the read aloud button.
ROF Adam Bodison.
And you can see that there. This is all about Nathan and an application that we created for Microsoft, which is really powerful. So again, reading is in lots of places. Reading out loud is in lots of places. So it's really powerful for our learners. So of course the floor is now open for you. I won't read out your name on the questions because I will record the questions. By all means, put your questions in that chat box. If you have any questions for me, type them away. I'll have a go at reading them. Thank you very much for taking part in today's session. They're quick and sharp, instant things. As I said previously, if you want me to come into your school to deliver a session, a full hour session for your teachers, TAs, and even for your students, we need to do them in that order. Please email me on aaron@lva-group.co.uk or follow me on Twitter and ask for my email. Happy to send it to you at Aaron Dyslexia. You find my latest blog is available at aarondyslexia.co.uk. And also you'll find, if you just search Aaron Dyslexia, you'll find loads of resources, including my podcast that I'm doing for Dyslexia Week. So the floor is open for you. Let's see if there's anyone putting any questions in that question box. So someone's asked me, someone said, many thanks. Where can we access the recordings to go through it a bit slower? Yes, that's very true. I'm trying to get a lot in 30 minutes or 20 minutes, so you've got time to ask me some questions. They'll be on YouTube. What will happen is because you have signed up to this, we will send an email out probably on Friday with all 4 links. We won't be recording tomorrow because tomorrow's session is there. Is there a way for RI could be used in an exam? I'm hoping that says exam securely. So, immersive reader. Of course it is. I like that. Right. Okay. So immersive reader theoretically can't be used in an exam because it needs access to the internet, and that's a theoretical concept in my head because it should be allowed to be used, and that's a personal comment, not of anyone else's. But you can do it. Is that I showed you there that I opened up a PDF and I used the read aloud button. So in that PDF I opened, you can read it there. So that is the only way you can use the offline version. So is it a normal way of working access arrangements where we can use an offline version in the future available? So there won't be that availability of things like changing background colors, changing font sizes, doing real-time translation, because the one thing about what it is Microsoft is an online company. We're a cloud service provider. We provide cloud infrastructure, so that is where that will be. But I would say to you that things like things like read aloud in Edge you can use, and of course you have also got you've also got Magnifier as well that you can use. So that is really useful. I always like that question about exam access arrangements. My personal opinion is that it should be allowed to be used, but until we can work out a way around being online and being like the real world, then we'll be all right, and we should be able to use it, because I use it every day for work, and I have no issue with it. And other employers use it because it is a concept that we have it. I'm going to look at that. Thanks, Ben. I'm going to. So I just read someone's name. I do apologize. I forgot that I'm recording. I will remove that from the recording. Thank you for that. Really useful link there, exam.net. So I'm going to look at that later. So wait a few more minutes. Probably got about two or 3 minutes left if people have got any questions. Of course, if you want to have an actual conversation with me, open conversation about anything, join me tomorrow. It's free. I will unmute you. So this is a really good thing. It's such a great tool and will empower our pupils day and day, but need to get something in place for exams too. The thing about it is read aloud is your concept in the Edge browser. That is the one thing I know we've got. The same thing also is Magnifier. Both of them you can use in an exam because they're offline. They do not need the internet to be connected. They just need to have the latest version of Windows 10 or even Windows 11, which was launched today. That's why I mention it. We'll wait another few more seconds, another few more minutes even, sorry, to see how many more people have got any questions. Can't see anyone else put any more questions in the question box. Oh, they have. Will Immersive Reader be definitely in Windows 11? So Windows 11 is an operating system. The features are in there in the concept, in that things like Magnifier is in there and Read Aloud is in there. It's not theoretically, it's theoretically part of the operating system, but in a different way. It's mainly in Microsoft 365 products, so yes, it will be in some of them. I can, if you come on Thursday to writing, I can, if you ask me that question about dictation, I'll talk more about it then, because there is some cool stuff coming in that. When it's being introduced in schools, isn't it better to introduce it to the group of SEN students having the same language? I would say yes and no. To me, if it's the actual answer, I would say is actually it needs to be introduced to the whole school. If you're going to use this properly, it needs to be a whole school approach, and it needs to be there and show everyone where it is, and everyone should use it, because that means you're then being really inclusive for everyone. Because what we all know is that, say, someone with dyslexia, we may have, because it is kind of a spectrum, we know that some people will be mildly dyslexic and may not be picked up at school. So there we can say, well, actually, no, if they need help with that single little word or that single word, they know where that Read Aloud button is. They know where that Immersive Reader button is. And that is the better concept. I think then once you've done that in an open forum, then do exactly what you said by bringing people together into a little group to actually then talk about in more detail of why it's beneficial for them. It's a very useful tool. I'm happy to do some information on that. Happy if you want to drop me an email. Happy to support you on that. Not a problem at all. So I'm going to bring this webinar to an end. Thank you everyone for listening. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. If you want to drop in anytime between 12:30 and 2, I think it is, come in. I'll unmute you, have a conversation with me. Let's have a chat about all things Microsoft and all things technology, and I'll be there for the hour and a half. You don't have to stay for the whole time. It's just to have a chat and an open conversation. Thanks everyone for listening. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.